Hey ladies and gents, welcome back. This is going to be a new What If. This is going to be part 1 of What If Naruto had an ancient summoning. So, with that being said, make sure to like and subscribe. There's no like goal or anything, but come on, you gotta be at least like a little bit nice. Come on, like it's not that hard. You don't have to pay anything. Like, come on, you might as well. But with that being said, make sure to leave a comment below for any future What If ideas you want to see from me, and let's jump right into the What If itself. So this What If starts off around the age of 7 or 8 for Naruto. It's actually his birthday at this point, and he doesn't actually really like his birthday that much, because most of the village doesn't see it as Naruto's birthday. They see it as the day of the Nine Tails attack. They see it as the day that the demon killed whoever it was that died in their life. Whether it be just, oh, they killed the 4th Hokage and his wife Kushina, or they actually killed somebody they personally knew and loved, like their father or something of that sort. Most people just hated Naruto even more than they do, like, normally on this specific day, and actually, like, try to find Naruto and hurt him, just because of how much anger they feel towards him for what they see Naruto as being, like, for what they did, like, for what I guess they see Naruto as the Nine Tails, and the Nine Tails killed stuff, even though it wasn't really actually the Nine Tails killing stuff, because it was under a genjutsu. But yeah, they see Naruto as basically this demon that killed their whoever it was that was close to them. So they try to hurt Naruto greatly on this day. So on this day, Naruto is, just kind of chilling in the forest at this point. He's probably like 2 miles away from the village. He gets as far as possible from the village whenever this day comes around, just because how much he hates it and the people and how they treat him on, his birthday. So Naruto has gone way away from the village at this point, and only a few people would actually be able to follow him this far, and those are actually just a few genin that actually ended up following Naruto literally the entire way. Naruto had just arrived, and they come out into the clearing that Naruto is sitting in, and basically look at Naruto with complete disgust and hatred in their eyes towards him. They rush towards Naruto now. They just want to get at least a little bit off before Naruto is somehow able to escape, or more people show up and somebody actually stops them, or something of that sort. So they begin absolutely fucking wailing on Naruto now. He is taking massive damage from this, and at one point he even goes almost to the point where he is unconscious. But something actually stops them. Something sends them flying back. And it's actually something quite interesting. They don't actually, see it. It's only there for the briefest of moments, but while it is, it seems almost like some sort of prehistoric beast. Like, it seems to be covered in, mossy grass, and it looks kinda like a rhino in like a weird way. They only saw it for the shortest bit of time before it and eventually de-summoned again, but when it was there, it hit them, and it hit them hard. And as they look over to where Naruto is at this point, they see that Naruto is completely healed and is just kinda standing there, just as curious as they were as to what happened, as he saw the massive beast as well, and didn't really know all too much about what it was or why it healed him and hit them, and he doesn't really understand it. But Naruto ends up running even farther away at this point, and actually the rest of the day goes pretty well for Naruto. So most of Naruto's time would not be spent trying to figure out what this weird thing of her ability was. He doesn't really care about it all too much, but every once in a while, the memory gets brought back into his head. And one of these days is the next year on, once again, Naruto's birthday. As he's running into the forest, he gets memories of exactly what had happened and transpired the last year, and remembers the weird creature that actually Naruto somehow summoned, and is actually wondering if he would be able to do it again. So Naruto begins basically spying on Ninja and trying to learn what he can about some sort of summoning jutsu. And he actually does learn what it is and how to make the proper hand signs and everything like that in order to try and use it. And when Naruto does try and use it, obviously it's not like bound to anything. Like Naruto isn't reverse summoning himself into, you know, like some random place, because Naruto doesn't really, like, that's how the summoning jutsu would have worked if Naruto didn't, like, have a set whatever he was going to summon in mind kind of a thing. But that's not how it works here. This summoning, I guess you could call it, is actually just kind of linked to Naruto. And whenever Naruto does his summoning jutsu, this is going to be the only creature that he is going to be able to summon just ever and in general. So the creature gets summoned, and Naruto is looking at it in front of him. It's a massive rhino, like I had been saying before. It's completely covered in like moss and grass and everything like that. And while it's around, it's just emitting this green aura around it that seems to actually be healing, like, just allies. It doesn't heal everything, because it didn't heal the Genin before. It heals what Naruto basically wants it to. So that's how that is actually going to work. So Naruto is looking at this giant creature in front of him, and he doesn't really know how he should feel about it. It's really cool, like, to be honest. To Naruto, it's a pretty dope-ass thing to be able to look at, but it's kind of scary at the same time. Naruto begins trying to, like, communicate with the beast, which he actually is able to do. The summoning creatures aren't just, like, nothing. Like, they can talk and do stuff, or at least most of them can. So Naruto would begin speaking to this ancient beast at this point, and it explains exactly what it is. There's only a few of them, or his kind, I guess you could say, in the world, and when they decide to basically, like, pick somebody and link to them to try to help them out, they are the only thing that they can summon, therefore are, like, you know, like, could technically be deemed weaker, but, you know, it's really not, because it's a much more powerful summoning than almost any other that ever has existed, like, just in general. So, yeah, it explains, like, how this system works, and that it had actually picked Naruto in order to basically, like, defend him. And whenever, like, a situation deemed it, or he deemed it necessary, it would, like, basically come out and protect Naruto. That's why it didn't, like, come out during most occasions, because Naruto didn't really get that close to dying. But in that last situation last year on his birthday, he actually did, like, get near death, so the creature summoned itself in order to basically protect Naruto and heal him before quickly leaving thereby after, once it deemed that Naruto was safe. Because Naruto hadn't really summoned it or done anything like that, it was just there to basically protect Naruto. And with Naruto basically hearing this and taking an understanding to this, where Naruto would basically ask, since you've been around for so long and you seem to know so many things, can you, like, train me too or something? And it says yeah, like, it would be pretty easy to train Naruto, and it would actually do so. Now, at this point, Naruto is 8 or 9 years old, so he would have another couple years in the academy, and another couple of years, therefore, to be training with this ancient beast, or whatever it is you actually want to call it. So, over these, you know, years of training, Naruto actually does get much stronger than he did, like, originally, just because now he has something very powerful being able to train him, along with the fact that it could heal Naruto, meaning he could train for longer periods of time, pretty much indefinitely, just because Naruto wouldn't, like, sustain any physical damage or anything like that, because this ancient summoning could just heal Naruto. So Naruto would be able to use his chakra, like, kind of like how he does in, like, Shippuden when he's using all of his clones, and just kind of, like, recklessly do whatever the hell he wants because of just how much he has. So, with this training actually, like, going, what exactly does Naruto learn? Well, obviously speaking, he can summon his summoning at, like, will easily and pretty much instantly. He doesn't even have to, like, touch the ground or anything like that for it to work. He just kind of has to do it. And it will basically will itself into existence, kind of a thing. Now, Naruto has the basics like water and tree walking, things like that. Naruto also learned like the basic clones and shadow clones because of the fact that he was in the academy and learned the more advanced version of it. But other than that, Naruto pretty much just learns better chakra control, and he did a lot of physical training as well. So for the time when they... Sorry, my voice cracked a little bit there. For the time when they actually end up graduating, the teams are remaining the same. Naruto wasn't like that much stronger. Well, I mean, he kind of is, but Naruto doesn't really give a shit about the academy, so he didn't really care. He probably could have graduated higher up. He's not like at the bottom of his class, but he's more in the middle. And he ends up getting placed on the same team as in the original with Sakura and Sasuke. All of the other teams arrive and, or their team leaders arrive and they leave, and eventually Kakashi does arrive. It's a few hours late. There's no prank or anything like that set up for him, and Kakashi's first impressions are, well, they don't really seem like they're going to be too great at teamwork, seeing as they're all placed in different corners, with Sakura just kind of staring at Sasuke, and he tells them to meet him up on the roof before disappearing. Naruto quickly climbs his way up to the roof, actually just going outside and climbing his way up, trying to impress Kakashi a little bit, and he makes it up to the roof within seconds, much quicker than Sakura or Sasuke could, who arrived pretty shortly after, just after a few seconds. But Kakashi is actually kind of impressed by this because Naruto got here pretty fucking quick. Like, all he did was despawn his shadow clone, and Naruto was just kind of like there. So he actually is impressed by this, and they all do their introductions. Naruto's basically is kind of the same. He does still want to become the Hokage and all that kind of such, but part of his goal in this what if is basically to make the people of the village not hate him. He wants them to not fear him, not do anything like that, but he just wants them to not see Naruto as some kind of demon, and he, is trying to find a way to prove to them that he is not. And Kakashi, hearing this, thinks that this is a really good path for Naruto to be on, considering his past, but also thinks to himself, if something had changed about Naruto's past, this could have ended very differently, and Naruto could be, like, their enemy at the moment. But because of, Naruto's dedication and also the training with the ancient beast and trying to, like, protect him and everything like that, it probably would have tried to keep Naruto on a somewhat decent path in life. So, with this actually happening, Kakashi also realizes that a future change could also make it so that Naruto, ends up betraying the village eventually, and is basically thinking about that to himself, like, damn, this could be fun. I'm gonna have to be a pretty good, actual, like, leader to them if they turn out to be, like, a good team and use teamwork and that kind of such. So he decides to basically, like, go on and explain to them that don't eat anything in the next morning and meet him at the area for this, like, bell test kind of thing, but he doesn't actually explain what it is they're going to be doing. So they meet him the next morning, and he explains the bell test to them, that they have to take the 2 bells, and only 2 of them could pass, and they have till sunset. So that would begin the battle, but that's where I'm going to leave this part up. Sorry for, like, the vague cliffhanger. Like, it's not that much of a cliffhanger, but it's a little bit. So I'll see you guys in part 2 in, the next couple of days.